The mxvice Show.
All right, welcome everybody to episode 143 of the mxvice Show. We have an action-packed show ready for you today as we talk to the great man, MX2 star and Isak Gifting. Before we get to him, we'd like to thank our sponsors for the start of this one in Parts Europe. Parts Europe distributes spare parts, accessories and rider equipment for all motorbike segments in Europe. We support the sport tagline is fortified through the Thor and Moose house brands and their support of world elite MX riders like Vlandrin Prado, Langenfelder, Guadagnini, Jonas Bogers, and 9-times world champ and Thor ambassador Tony Cairoli. Your Parts Europe dealer has access to all the big brands for your motocross and enduro bike: Necken, Pro Circuit, FMF, ODI, Cycler, Renthal, Recluse, and many, many more in stock, ready to be shipped. Check out their website at partseurope.eu or contact your local Parts Europe dealer. All right, Isak, thanks for joining us, mate. And how's life at the moment in Paris?
Thanks a lot. Thanks for letting me be on the podcast. Life's all right. Not bad. Just got back from the UK, back to Paris, France.
Yeah, congratulations on wrapping up the title there, mate. Must have been pretty satisfying reward for all your hard work. It's been a challenging season for sure, mate. And that program was obviously pieced together pretty late. So must have been great for you and the team to sort of bask in the glory, mate, and look back on what's been a pretty tough year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was nice to get it done now. I've been looking forward to getting that title all year. And I think the race before this last one was like 2 months ago. And I could already clinch the title there. But I messed up a little bit. And that made me like have to stay injury free and healthy for another 2 months to make sure I could like take the title. So it's always been in the back of my mind until now. So it's pretty good to have it done. And obviously for everyone involved that sorted out this deal for me so I could do the British Championship. It's good to be able to clinch the title.
Yeah, mate. How was the mindset heading into the weekend? Obviously you managed it, you just wanted to bag the points, but how was it? Were you a bit nervous, mate, or you just handled it all pretty well?
I felt all right. Like coming into it was no stress at all. I'd done the Turkey GP and stuff just before that, and I felt all right. Then I was a little bit nervous to mess something up there on the day, and I think I led with 42 points coming into the weekend, and so I could basically win the title after the first race already, and I think I stood like far outside in the start to make sure I could avoid all the problems. Then the rain poured down just before the start, so it was a complete mud race. Long start straight came into the corner there and got together with some guys and had a big start crash. Got stuck together with another bike, and it was a big mess. Like it was a disaster. Honestly, I thought like this is not happening. But fortunately, I could just ride around the finish race in like, I don't know, 14th or something and win the title anyway. So that was right. And then I could do a better race in the second moto.
Yeah, it sounded like a pretty brutal day, mate. How do you like the track up there? Obviously, a lot of chat about it. Our colleague at mxvice, Brad Wheeler's got some pretty choice words to say about it. So how do you sort of see it and what's your take on it?
Yeah, I've heard some negative comments about it, but I think it's a pretty cool place. And the track's actually really good. If you get enough water on it and like get it ripped deep enough and that you get all the ruts and stuff, it's really good. Like Sunday morning there in practice and stuff, it was a bit like flat and stuff and not very exciting. But then we had that mud race in the first moto and it dried up for the second one. So then for the second moto, the track was really good actually. Like big ruts, very technical, challenging, and still some jumps and stuff. So that was pretty cool, like a GP track.
Yeah, awesome, mate. Been talk that they'd love to do a GP there. How do you think it stacks up in terms of that world elite level? Do you reckon they could make it work? Maybe a bit hard with the infrastructure, but it's always good to have conversations about getting new tracks on the calendar, isn't it?
I mean, I think they could make it work. Like just on top of that mountain, you do have like quite a big paddock. I think you could fit everything there. I think that's all right. But then for the audience and stuff, I don't know really, but you could probably just put up some stands and stuff, or whatever you call it, where they can sit like they do in the Spanish GP in Madrid and stuff. I think they could make it work. It would be a pretty cool place. Like the track's big enough. I mean, yeah, I think it will do. Just maybe make it a little bit wider at places and make sure you can't cut the track anywhere. Because now it's a bit open, but yeah, that's not going to be a problem. Yeah, sure, they can sort it out.
Yeah, awesome, mate. And just one last one on the British. Just how did you find the level? Was it a bit of preparation for you, mixing that with MX2? Guess it sort of holds you in pretty good stead, mate. Obviously, it's not as good as it has been in the past, but still it's a solid hit out. Good test for you. Not doing MX2, you can slot back in there and get some good track time and get some gate drops. Still feel like you're getting that intensity, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been good racing a bit more, and yeah, getting to win some races and stuff. It's good for your confidence, and yeah, the races has been like, the competition has been different. All the races, like some new riders come and then someone get injured, and obviously Jack Chambers done some races. We had some good fights, and then Tommy Searle jumped into this last one here. So yeah, no, it's been decent racing. It kept me on the edge for sure.
Yeah, there was a talk about in the last podcast Ben and Brad did about the trophy with Chambers. So who owns that at the moment, mate? Have you still got it?
I think I still got it. I think so, or someone else has got it, but I don't keep track of them.
Nah, that's all good, mate. And yeah, onto the MX2. Just talk about your most recent effort in Turkey. Really impressive stuff. Doing what you're doing, leading laps, running out front, even though you were sick. So that was a pretty cool weekend, mate. Must have been another boost of confidence for you. How did you find that track? Obviously, the atmosphere is not superb there because of just the location and the fans don't really get into it. But, mate, plenty of positives to be extracted from that weekend for you.
Yeah, that was a big confidence boost for me. Actually, I've only led like half a lap before this, and then went down. So to lead 20 minutes was quite a big step for me. And yeah, just finally get that good start and mixing it up in the front there felt very good. Unfortunately, I woke up there Sunday morning with fever. I think probably for something I ate. I know the Conan brothers had the same issue that weekend. So that was a bit unfortunate because yeah, after those 20 minutes I was finished. And then for the second race, yeah, I felt very bad. I decided to line up anyway. I done like a lap or two, and then I just said, yeah, there's no point in me doing this. So yeah, especially having the British coming up the weekend after, wanted to make sure I could go there and yeah, not feel too bad, so I could do what I have to do over there.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And you're looking forward to Majora this weekend as well. Should be another great event. Pretty cool track. I'm sure you'll be equipped to do well again, mate. Battling it out. It should be some pretty good guys in there as always, and maybe getting the mix between Adamo and Everts again, mate, and see if you can be a bit of a spoiler in that championship battle too. Just get amongst it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I know I can always be up there if I'm there in the start. Normally I can follow those guys. So I just need to stay sharp and focus on the starts. It should be all right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I will have some friends coming over, and I think I had a good race there last year. I finished third in one of the motos. So,
yeah, I think so. Pretty muddy, wasn't it?
Positive. Yeah, I think you're right on the Sunday there. It's pretty muddy.
So, mate, you'll be primed for a good one, I reckon. So, but yeah, just to talk about your season, it's been a pretty wild season, mate. Obviously, the Hitachi KTM guys closing down put you in a massive hole. And then you had those knee issues before as well. So, definitely not an ideal preparation for the year. But considering all that going on, you've found some great people to work with, and I'm sure you're really grateful for them working with you. Obviously, the VHR guys, the MX2 team, you're based in Paris, in France. There, how have they been? How have you found it all? Have you found it a tough sort of balance mixing the two championships, or have you just enjoyed it and taken it all in your stride?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a tough year, especially in the beginning there. Like you said, I came back from an ACL injury, and just as I started to get going again, yeah, then the team folded in February there, which made me miss the start of the GP and all that. So yeah, instead of riding, I was like, yeah, sitting on a couch trying to make phone calls, trying to sort something out. So it was a big mess. But yeah, it's a pretty cool thing I got together finally. Like with this whole, they started off with me doing the British. We put everything together in just a couple of days. Uh, and yeah, I'm beyond thankful for all the guys helping me over there to make sure I could get a bike to ride at all. And yeah, we got that first race win. So we got the red plate straight away there. And I think the week after, I probably signed for VHR, the French team for the GPs. So yeah, I came together pretty cool there. So I could make sure I had a team to ride the GPs for, stay in France, practice there, train with them, and then just fly over and do the British on a similar bike with some people I know from before. So yeah, to get the title also after all this was a nice bonus for everyone.
Absolutely, mate. And how have you found the training program that you're running? Obviously, spending a lot of time in France. How is it, mate? And how is living in Paris? Must be pretty cool. An opportunity not many people get. So you're just relishing it, I guess.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's been a lot of organization, a lot of traveling for me doing both championships. So whenever we had a weekend off from the GP side, I went to do the British. So and yeah, it's a lot of organization to make it happen also for me. But yeah, I still got to enjoy Paris a bit. It's been nice. We had very good weather here all summer. It does get very hard packed though, all the tracks. But I think it might have been good for me because I feel like in Turkey and stuff, I starting to now when I'm getting back to shape again. It's taken a long time since I missed all winter, but I feel like I'm getting a bit better. Like my lap times are getting better, and I can mix it up a bit more in the front. So I think that might have to do a little bit with the tracks I'm riding around there. Yeah. And yeah, the program is like I'm more free basically. Like it's not a big team, and they kind of let me do whatever I want and the way I want to do it. So yeah, I'm very thankful for that. Like it's been a relief for me to just be able to do what I want and control my own program together with my physical trainer that I have from Sweden, Erik Rosendahl. Yeah. And seems to be working all right. Like now by the end of the season, I'm starting to get back to it. Like I'm starting to get the speed up again. But yeah, it's been a long journey to come back here. Just kind of racing myself into shape, basically, because if you have race every weekend, you can't really practice much in between there. So just in the beginning, we're just trying to survive all the races without crashing or like getting injured, to then make sure I could get back into shape for the last part of the season, which was my goal.
Yeah. And do you have like a trainer in France helping you there, giving you pointers, managing you as well, or are you just doing it all by yourself? And also, how have you found the bike, the platform, the gas they've given you? Obviously, it's a pretty competitive bike, as you showed in Turkey. Obviously, not probably like the Red Bull gas or anything, but obviously, you're pretty happy with the bike and all the parts, and it can certainly hold its own still.
Yeah, I don't have a trainer around there, so it's basically me doing it with the mechanics, and I kind of set up a little bit the program together with my physical trainer who helps me also a bit with the riding, and then try to just have the mechanics film me a little bit, and I try to analyze myself and stuff. So that's not easy, but I think it's been working quite all right anyway, and it's been a fun trip doing it that way. More like a kind of privateer thing, but with a good backup of a good team and good guys around me. And the platform, we're still on the old chassis, so we're not on the new bike. And I think that helped me maybe a little bit because I had a lot of information from last year already from that bike. So that was a good thing for me. And yeah, I think we have a good bike. It's decent. We've just been struggling a little bit with the starts, but that's obviously very hard to compete with, because like the top 10 is almost all factory bikes, and then to try and compete there with a like privateer bike, basically it's not easy. But I think we're doing a pretty good job anyway.
Oh, mate, it's nothing short of impressive, that's for sure. Have you found the language barrier a bit of an issue, or do they all speak English, the guys you deal with? How's that been for you?
No, they've been very good. Like, they're not obviously in France. They're not like very good English speakers, but they have been so like welcoming and open to me, and they've gotten better at speaking English as well throughout the year. They're all on different levels, but no, it's been all good actually. We've had a good time and like no stress at all. Been all good times.
Oh, sounds good, mate. And just give us a little bit more of an insight into all those wheelings and deals you had to sort of do in the off season, because you hear a lot of guys doing the privateer thing, organizing so much stuff from travel to gear to everything. It's a lot you guys put into it, and you got to try and train and keep yourself focused. On top of that, the factory guys, they just focus on the training and racing a lot of the time and putting out a few, various things for their sponsors. But there's a lot for you to do, mate. I bet during that off season, especially and throughout the year, it must be pretty savage for you.
Yeah, it was rough, and then just like the opportunity came up there with the British. They reached out to me and they wanted to help me with everything that was going on, and then I still had to sort out the deal like between me and them and Austria, Gas Austria and Gas UK, sort out what bike we wanted. And you need all those small bits, like suspension, you need gear deals, all that, and sort out in a short time. And then just also taking the decision to go ride the race. Like basically I basically just went from the couch, took my car over there to the UK, tried the bike a little bit on Saturday and just raced. And like, what else am I gonna do? Like, and it turned out good. And then from there, I had to move from Belgium to Paris when I signed the deal with the French team. So I just packed everything I had into my Volvo. Whatever I couldn't fit in the car, I threw away or I left there with Dave, who I was staying with at the time, and just drove down to Paris, moved in there, got going, done a couple of days on the bike, then went and done the first GP. And it's just, after that, it's just been going on weekend after weekend. And it's sorting out deals that late in the season. It's not easy with the money in that. So that's been something to make it all work. I had to be very organized with all the travels and stuff. But I've got very good help from the team, and both from the UK and from here in France.
Yeah, I bet you've learned a lot, mate, sort of grown personally as well, dealing with all this stuff. And you sort of got to have a lot of mental strength and dedication to, obviously love what you're doing, and the passion shines through, mate, to see that. And I guess it would have been a pretty cool reward having that cool moment at the home GP with the lit kit, the helmet, the flag around you with the cape while you were sort of spinning some laps there, mate. And the fans looked like they were just absolutely epic there with the flares and everything. So how was that, mate? Must have been pretty cool just to go there and enjoy it a bit. It was also nice to see you got on the MXGP behind the gate show. They did a little segment there, mate. So that's pretty cool. Have you got some good feedback about that too?
Yeah, I have. That weekend was awesome for me. It was super hectic actually. Like, was a lot more people there than I would have thought. And like you said, like the flares and the chainsaws, and it was mental. And then also that brings, of course, a little bit pressure. And if you're not like Jeffrey Hurlings or those guys who have that every weekend, then it's definitely something new for you. So brings a bit pressure, but it was still all right weekend. I went to 7-7, I think. So that was okay. Put on a little bit of a show at least. And just met a lot of fans and a lot of kids and stuff. Made a lot of time for that. I just think it was good also for the sport in Sweden. Like the national TV came out there and the radio, and they done some articles, and appreciate that.
Oh, that's awesome, mate. Yeah, having that sort of backing must be pretty cool, and sort of definitely vindicate your decision to keep going and, push through all the bullshit you would have had to get through just to be there. So, and how did you find the track, mate? Obviously a lot of talk about it. The weather didn't help. There was sort of a lot of chat about it being one line and hard to pass. How was it personally for you? Or it didn't really matter that much because it was a home GP and everything was good, mate?
Yeah, but no, that's actually true a bit, that with the one line thing. Saturday, I think it was really good. Uh, it was quite dry then, and then we had a lot of rain for the Sunday, so that's why it ended up like just one line track. And for me, that was a little bit unfortunate because my speed was quite all right that weekend, and I was like 7, 8 there, and I always had those 2, 3 guys just in front of me. We were on like yeah, we were all like in a couple seconds there. So I felt like I could have done a bit more passes, especially there in the second race. I went for an outside there and just tried to make a pass, but went down instead. But yeah, it's still a good track, and just the weather is hard to control. And when you get a mud race, then yeah, it's easy that the track gets one lined.
Yeah. And what have you thought of the tracks in general in MXGP? It's been a bit of a mixed bag. Obviously, some really good ones, some really challenging ones, tough ones to pass on. I guess obviously Sweden and Vanta come to light, especially there, mate. But your take on overall, I guess the guys don't have a heap of time to do track prep with so many classes, the support classes. What do you think? Should they run the EMX stuff more on the Saturday and maybe, give them more time and yourselves more time on the Sunday to have some prep in between races and do the watering that needs to be done? What's your take on all of it, or are you happy with it? And I guess, do you prefer the 1 or 2 day format?
I think it's all right now with the mixed classes because, yeah, if it's muddy, they send them out first in the morning. They clean up the track for us. That's great. But no, I think it's pretty good because if it was only us riding and they prepped a lot, I think the tracks would be a lot flatter. And I don't like that. I want the tracks to get pretty rough. So no, I think the tracks have been all right. Sometimes they get a bit one line, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like we always have that discussion like every year or all of the tracks. So I don't know how actually our track is supposed to be. They're all different. So sometimes you have one line, sometimes you have more. You always try to get more lines, but it should help having those EMX classes and be able to make the track pretty wet and ripped to then let it dry out, and then you get all those lines. So I think it's a good concept.
Yeah, that's a really cool insight, mate.
The 1 or 2 days format, the 1 day format is pretty nice. You just get in there, you do a day, and you get out. But I guess it's hard to compare because when I was doing that in 2020, it was during COVID. So we had like a week where we done 3 races. So we raced, I think, Monday, maybe Thursday and Saturday or something.
I remember the Lommel one. You had an awesome performance.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I had really good races there as a fill-in rider. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I did like that format too then, obviously. But I think it's less stress having this weekend format because you can, you come in there on Friday. You have the whole Saturday basically to learn the track. Saturday is quite chill. There's no pressure. And then you're racing Sunday, and then you go back home and you only have, you maybe do 1 or 2 days maximum riding in between. Then you go to the next one. While having the 1 day format, especially like we had it with 3 races in a week, you're just racing. And then maybe you go back home for 2 weeks or something. And yeah, it gets a bit boring then because when you're in the races, you kind of want to race every weekend. I think it's pretty nice because otherwise you feel like you're in shape, but you keep training for 2-3 weeks and then there's no racing going on, and you're like, I just want to get back to races. No, I think I like the 2 day format. It's better.
Yeah, man, I suppose like you said about the tracks, it is a world championship, so you guys got to be tested on a range of surfaces and conditions, and that's probably what you guys want as well, to be challenged. And just your talk on the qualifying race points, have you found that a good addition to the series too, or not so good?
Well, yeah, maybe it's pretty good. It's like a motivation to, if you get another position, you actually get one more point and not just another step on the gate, which maybe it doesn't really matter. So makes it a little bit more interesting for sure. But I don't think I have like too much to say about it because I'm not fighting for the championship, am I? So it's more to ask those who ride in the top, like Adabo, Everts, and like Prado and those guys, what they think about it. I don't know what they think about it actually. Obviously, Prado probably likes it.
Yeah.
He's won basically all of them. Yeah.
It's a bit of a mixed bag talking to guys, really. It's sort of some like it, some don't. You know, the elevated risk, or I guess you could run a format like the ADAC. It's kind of similar. They obviously have 3-point scoring motos in that. So I don't know, is it worth changing it to something like that to maybe give it even more impetus? It's a tough one. Would you like to do 3 25-minute races on the weekend, for example? Would that interest you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One on
maybe.
Saturday,
No,
2
I don't
on
think
Sunday.
so. No, I don't think. I think it's enough how it is actually. It's enough racing already. We ride quite a lot on the weekend. It's basically like 3 hours in total. 1.5 Saturday, kind of 1.5 Sunday too. So I think it's already enough riding. And it's like you said, it's the qualifying race. I'm normally better at a qualifying race than a time qualifying. So I like it, but I also understand why people don't like it because it's a much bigger risk than doing just the time qualifying.
Yep.
With the start and all that. But yeah, I think this concept is good. We might just keep it going.
Yeah, I think that'll be the plan, mate. And how exhausted are you after a weekend? Because it's a lot of riding, like you said, and you listen to the guys like Chase Sexton and Nicoletti talking about the SMX on the weekend. Obviously, much less riding time than you guys do. Different sort of stuff too. But yeah, they said they're absolutely exhausted after that. And I guess, how do you feel after a weekend, mate? And how important is that recovery, getting straight back into it and priming yourself for the next weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it does get tough on you, especially that sometimes when you have a weekend off from the GPs, some people also race like national races and stuff. Not all the time, but sometimes. But a lot of them have a weekend off while I went to do the British, which is tough on you because every time you race, it's definitely harder on you than training. And you need to feel a bit sharp coming into the weekend, and to try and feel sharp coming into every weekend during a summer, that's pretty hard. So some of the weekends have been worse than others. Like I had a tough one in Arnhem, I remember, because after Uddevalla, I was quite exhausted with everything that was going on there. And then I'd done just a little bit too much training maybe in the week there. And then you're like, just coming into Saturday, it's going to be a long weekend. And it was, and that was tough. So you need to be good at reading your body and being able to take some days off, because racing all the time, it's tough on you.
Yeah, it's probably mentally hard to do that because you think, I've taken a day off, everyone else is working, they're getting better while I'm not. But, recovery is just as important, same as sleep, as actually doing the work. So I guess you learn a lot in that aspect too, mate. But I wanted to also ask you on another topic that divides the opinion. Obviously, it's impacting you coming ahead, the age rule. Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it should be raised to 25? Do you think it should be appearance-based, performance-based? Is there any opinions from you on that, mate? I've heard a lot of things about it. It's an interesting one. It makes for good discussion. And just for someone that's going to affect, it'd be great to hear your opinion. I'm sure the fans would be very interested.
Yeah, that's a good question because, if I were to stay here, mxgp, then I have to move up to 450 next year, which I want to do because I want to ride the big bike. But I understand some people want to stay, and I think it'd be better to kind of lift the age rule, mix the classes up a little bit, because the mxgp class is getting stacked, and then people can't find a ride, so they kind of stop, or they have to back down on a national level and stuff. And that's not how you want it. Like, you want everyone to be able to do the GPs, or at least 40 riders. And same goes with the MX class. I think you could change the age rule there. Maybe you could only ride EMX until you're, I don't know, like 20 or something. like then you have to move up to do MX2 class. So then, because there's a lot of people actually doing the EMX class, the EMX 250, and they're good riders. So I feel like we could try to push them in the MX2 class just to fill out, and that would also bring their level up, surely.
No, it's pretty cool, mate. It's an interesting one to look at. And would have you preferred to stay, say, MX2 next year, or you find the time is now with your size and just the way you're mentally ready? You're ready for that 450 by the sounds of it, mate. And have you got much riding time on one?
I haven't been riding that much, but I've done some time on a 450. But yeah, I prefer to go up a little bit with my size and stuff. Like I need to, with my body, I kind of need to control myself a lot to keep the weight down for a 250. And then it's also like if you can't get a factory ride on a 250, it's hard to compete in the starts. It's still hard in a 450 class for sure. I just feel like you have a bike with that much power that at least you can probably compete a bit more in the starts.
Yep.
And that's such an important thing in racing nowadays. So, I think it would suit me better, also with my body.
Yeah. Obviously, you're still working out things for next year, mate, but just give the fans a bit of an insight. Are you keen to head MXGP, or you just, whatever comes your way, you're still talking to teams, working out some deals, but we should still see you around?
I will definitely be racing next year, that's for sure. I'm not stopping. Yeah, plans I have so far is that I want to ride a 450, and then where I'm gonna do it, I'm not sure yet, but I might be trying something new outside of Europe, but it's definitely nothing done yet. So I could end up in Europe still, but yeah, I'm quite excited to maybe go try something new. I think it could be a cool experience. I also feel a little bit like we were talking about the age rule and that, like, feel like in Europe we kind of need to change something a little bit with mxgp to fill out the classes and stuff. I don't feel like we're really moving in the right direction there. Yeah, so yeah, we'll see where I will end up. I'm a bit excited myself because I don't know what I'm gonna do, but yeah, I'm sure I'll sort something out.
I'd be excited to share the news when you do, mate. It sounds like you got some cool stuff in the pipeline, but yeah, it's an interesting point too, because you see, like I know on mxvice, we put a post up of results and everyone's always going on about the entry lists. Now there's no people on it, especially on a one like Turkey. I suppose you look at it when you're watching the racing, you don't really notice it, but it's definitely something the fans are always commenting about. So you make a good point there, mate. And some of those changes you mentioned would be kind of cool to see them implemented, because I obviously know the MXGP class, they want that to be the absolute pinnacle, the elite. They're trying to funnel all the elite talent into it. So it's interesting because the step is so massive once you get there, isn't it, mate? So it must be kind of daunting looking at that, because you see the EMX 250 to MX2 step, those guys like Rossi and Zanchi and Erne, for example, straight in the top 10, they hold their own. That's not as big a step, but that MX2 to MXGP is massive. And obviously the difference in equipment and resources, if you're not on a factory team, makes it pretty challenging, doesn't it, mate? That's another reason why a lot of guys probably go the domestic championship route, and something like the ADAC where you get 700 euros or so for a moto win. It sort of makes sense in prize money too, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it would be different if you can go in the MXGP class and there would be 40 riders and you would have a value even if you're the 20th rider, and you can grab some points and you could get paid for that. You could make a living. While now, if you're, I don't know, maybe outside the top 15 or outside top 10, it's hard to make a living and to go in there and compete and come in the top 10 among those factory riders. Yeah, not many people can do that. So yeah, that's why it's very daunting. It's a big step. I think that could change a little bit.
Yeah, no, well said, mate. And coming up, you've obviously got the Motocross Nations with Sweden. You're happy with the team? It's a pretty strong outfit you're sending. I mean, obviously, there's some pretty good riders just in the general talent pool. Obviously, guys like Freddie Noren aren't going and Anton Gold, but there's been some good guys testing themselves in the EMX to all the way to MXGP classes like Frisk, Alm, Gerhardsen, Ambjornsen, Olsen, Luning, Paulsen even. It's pretty cool. I guess you're helping inspire the next generation of riders coming through in your country. And you certainly seen some growth in the sport there. And how excited are you for the nations, mate? The vibe should be excellent. And I think you'll be a fan favourite again there, mate. The Swedish guys will be coming out to support you, no doubt.
Yeah, hopefully. No, I love the nations. I'm really looking forward to it, especially in Ernay here in France. I think it'll be pretty cool. Like the last time, when was it the last time? Was it 2015 or?
Yeah, 15.
Yeah.
Absolutely smashed it, yeah.
Yeah, there were so much people there. The vibe is unbelievable. So it'll be cool to experience that. Also, I'll be stepping up to 450 for the nation. So that'll be cool. New thing. And I'm excited for that. Try something new. I already have the 450 here actually in the workshop. So I will start training on it very soon. Maybe tomorrow, but I'm not sure yet. And yeah, we got a good team. It's unfortunate Freddie Noring couldn't come over. He seems to be in good shape. But
did well on the weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
And Oslin's been doing well in mxgp, which is pretty cool. I guess, do you chat to him much on weekends and just during the week to get some updates and just chat racing and anything like that?
Yeah, we're good friends, and we don't live too far off each other in Sweden, but I'm never in Sweden really anymore. But anyway, and then we have Philip Bengtsson, who's been unbelievably fast a couple of years ago in mxgp, or he was quite, like what, 2014 or 2015, something like that. So with his experience and stuff, and his body, like he's very light, so he wouldn't have a problem stepping down on a 254 stroke. He was motivated to do it, so it'll be great for everyone, because I'd rather ride a big bike. So no, that would be cool. But like you said, with the growth of the sport, I feel like we have very good riders in Sweden. Just I would like to see a little bit more people coming out doing EMX and some international races, because I feel like we're a little bit behind there now. I think before we had more riders, more 1-5 riders, more maybe 85 riders also. That's quite early, but also EMX 250, we were mixing it up a little bit more. But yeah, we still have some names coming up like Frisk and his name Laban Alm and those guys. So yeah, I wish them all the best.
I've heard the Swedish Championship is quite strong. Is that definitely still the case, mate? Are you happy with the level there? You hear a lot from the riders that race. It's a good hit out for them still, and they probably make a bit of decent money from local sponsors too.
Yeah, I don't know how it is with the money really. It's not like the British and ADAC and stuff. Definitely not. But I think the level is all right still. It's not that bad. Everyone is better on a national level. From what I experienced, like coming over to the UK can be, it's not easy. For example, like some of the riders go really faster at their home place or at their home tracks and all that, compared to what they do at a GP. And that's something you especially see in Sweden, I think. Like it's a big difference from racing, for them racing there and then racing GPs. That's why I want more people to go race international a bit earlier and start doing that more to get that experience, because otherwise it's hard to make it. But it was a long time ago, I think, since I've done some Swedish Championship, but I've done it in 21. Yeah, I think I've done some in 21 was the latest. And yeah, could probably step up a little bit, but yeah, it's hard for me to say. I just want to see more riders go international.
Yeah, mate, that's the way to go, that's for sure. And with so many US viewers and listeners in Australia, just tell us a little bit about your backstory and how you got into motocross as a kid. Was your dad the sort of key figure? And I guess so much hard work, sacrifice goes into it from you and your family to get where you are. And yeah, so just tell us a little bit about the journey growing up, mate, to where you are today.
Yeah, so basically I started off when I was 7 years old, which is not super early. And it was my mother and my stepfather and my uncle who got me to start riding. I thought it was really cool, so I just wanted a bike, and started off doing some training camps and stuff, and we started going to some races, and I wasn't very good. Then think on 65, I started to race a little bit international, and I was quite all right. Then stepped up 85. I was riding not so good. Kind of lost a bit motivation there, and then got going again and started riding good in 85. And since then, we've been together with my family. We've been doing it like pretty serious, and started racing more international on the 1 to 5 there, doing a lot of training camps. Spent a lot of time with Kenneth Gundersen, actually. He's training camps together with Kevin Ormo.
Yep.
Yeah, so we grew up riding together a lot. And I think that's pretty cool because we followed each other kind of, we're the same age also. So we follow each other on all the bikes, all the steps. And we both went up to 1 to 5 when we were like 13-year-old.
Who used to win more back then?
Super short. Oh, I think it was more him. It's more him that was winning. I feel like he's always been the faster one. He's always been the faster one there. And then it was maybe just in 2020 maybe, when I came in as a fill-in rider. That's when I started beating him. And I think he was struggling a little bit that year in the GPs. And at 21, he went back to EMX. I was doing the GPs. And then we finally came together to ride GPs in 2022 again last year. And he was really fast last year. Really good. He's also good this year. We've had some battles, and it's just cool to see that we grew up riding together, and now we're both at this level. So, and we've done quite a similar journey.
Yeah, it'd be cool, mate. And obviously, you're both moving up to the 450 next year, so that'll be cool to see how it plays out. Do you find time on the weekend to go and chat to him, have a bit of banter, have a laugh as well?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we always do that, and especially before the start and stuff. So, that's fun.
Yeah, mate. And just a couple more before we let you go. Just any advice for young riders coming through in Sweden and anywhere, I guess, what would you say are the key pieces of information that would help them, or what are suggestions for you? Is it good to go to a facility younger? Obviously talking to Matthias Jorgensen, who's from Denmark, and he was saying those cold winters really sort of grow a pretty robust, sort of tough human. So when you're younger, it's good to kind of stay in the Scandinavian area, I guess, from his point of view, battle it out like that and sort of grow and learn those tough days and wet, muddy, cold, it sort of builds a bit of strength and mental resilience. So your take on that?
I think it's a bit right about that. It's good to get mentally strong as a kid, or have someone to push you a bit, but maybe not always your parents. I think it's good if your parents are quite relaxed and maybe they take a step back and more just support, help out, not push too much. And then maybe you can find a trainer like I did and go on a lot of camps and stuff, join in there and have them push the kid a bit more. But then also, like I said, it's good to get out international quite early, race international, because especially Swedish people, I feel like they're quite shy. They don't take much place and stuff, and you need to learn the opposite way. You need to learn like the European way, and that's one thing. The experience there has a lot to do with your performance when you get out to the GPs finally, I think.
Yeah, it's a good point, mate. Yeah, hope lessons can be learned. There's always a way to better yourself, and that's a pretty good approach to have, I reckon, mate, to sort of with the training and the coaching. It's a good way to do it. And just what are your hobbies outside of motocross, mate, to take your mind off? It's a pretty heavy, brutal kind of all-in sport. Do you have things you like doing outside, like playing golf or any other sports, following other professional sports, this kind of stuff?
I follow cycling a lot, actually, road cycling. So right now, Vuelta a España is on, so I'm following that and cycling. I enjoy cycling. That's a big thing. Other than that, it's not that much. Like if I'm in Sweden, and sure, I can do some other stuff and probably enjoy some other hobbies, but especially when I was younger. But while now it's difficult, you're just racing and traveling and all that, so it's not that much you can do. And I'm not much of a computer guy or like a game, like playing, not a gamer at all. So no, I enjoy following some sport, but especially cycling. That I like that. Always go in the winter to like Gran Canaria and stuff for some cycling camps.
Oh, cool, mate. That's awesome. So, yeah, probably the weather stays pretty good there all year round, I bet, mate. Even in the winter, it's not too bad. So, and also, have you had a chance to sort of sample the cafes and the restaurants around Paris, mate? Because you always hear the food's pretty good there. So, how have you found that?
Yeah, I find it pretty good, but I haven't been around that much. I kind of feel like I've not taken advantage of everything yet. It's been too much going on. I need to go a little bit more into the city. Like I could probably count on one hand how many times I've been into the Centrum, which is bad because it's a very nice place and it's not that far for me. So maybe I'll try to go in there a little bit more now. Maybe after Nations and stuff, go in there, enjoy the city a little bit more. Yeah, we'll see. But no, it's a very nice place. It's good. Just all like around Paris, it's not that nice. It's a lot of like ghettos and stuff, but out on the county or like out on the country and inside like the Centrum, yeah, there's good.
Yeah, cool, mate. Sounds like you're having a good time and making the most of it. And before we let you go, just aims for the last few races of the season. I guess you got the 2 GPs and Nations. What would you be satisfied with? And just give us a rundown of all the people you'd like to thank as well for making it happen. And I'm sure they're grateful for you putting their brands and teams in the spotlight too.
Yeah, for the last couple of rounds, just kind of I need to focus on the starts there really, because if I can be there in the starts, I would like to get some top 5 finishes. That's what I want. It's only 2 races to go, so. But my main focus is now definitely on the Nations, to do a solid ride there on the 450. I've seen it happen a couple of times. People move up to the 450. They done good at the Nations, so that's what I'd like to do.
Get Lawrence and Jago last year, mate.
Yeah, unbelievable. And Guadagnini also, I think.
Yeah.
Mattia Guadagnini, I think he moved up to 450 and he was battling there with Tomac or something. Yeah, it was going really well. So I'd like to do something similar.
That's you this year, mate.
Yeah, that's it. That would be me. Yeah, and I'd definitely like to give it up to all the guys in the UK for helping me out. Stebbings, Bike Shore, 4-6 Motorsport, Technical Solution, Gas, RFX, Fly, Anthony Scarry, the Stebbings guy, and Steven Sword, Muse family. It's a lot of people. Just been amazing what we done and that we got the title together. And also I'd like to thank everyone here in France, Bruno Verhage and his family and the team here, and Gas Osha, for putting all this together in such a short amount of time there in the beginning of the year. It's been a good ride actually, and we're still here doing it by the end of the season, and we get to go to the nation, so that's a big bonus.
Yeah, mate, exciting end of the year of what's been a very interesting year, mate. I'm sure you learnt plenty, and it's really cool to sort of keep track of your progress, and all the best for the rest of the season. And before we let you go, I'll just thank the sponsors for the end of this one in AS3 Performance Parts, the home of aftermarket motocross enduro parts, from hardware and protection parts, including skid plates and radiator braces, performance cooling parts such as silicon radiator hoses and oversized impeller kits. AS3 also have a huge range of brake, clutch and gear levers, all with different features and adjustability. Check them out online at as3performance.co.uk. And obviously Kawasaki Motors UK, the arrival of the new KLX 140R range. The easy-to-ride lineup offers a 144cc engine plus suspension and push-button electric start, making for great trailblazers. The machines come in 3 different sizes, ranging from junior's first tentative steps to pushing the door wide open on adult riding. The highly regarded range is ready and willing to add fun and enjoyment in 2023. Contact your off-road dealership for more information. All right, thanks again, Isak, and all the best for the rest of the year, mate. It's going to be a good one, I'm sure. And yeah, really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Cheers, mate.